Hello everyone, I am Bhargab Kakati and today I am going to start with the unit computer networks. So as per the CBSE curriculum, this unit consists of 15 marks in your final exam. So without any ado, let us start with the first topic. So first topic is we need to know what a network is. So what is a network? So by definition, we can say that it is a collection of interconnected computers connected by communication links. So here we need to focus on two words. First is the interconnected and next is the communication links. So what do we mean by interconnected? Suppose you have purchased two computers. One computer you have kept at your living room and the other computer you have kept in a different room, and you are using both the computers in isolation. If you are using both the computer in isolation, then you cannot say that the computers are interconnected. But if you use some kind of communication links, the communication links may be wired or may be wireless. If you connect some cables and such that both the computers are able to connect with each other and exchange information, then we say that a network has been established. So the link may be wired or wireless. As I have already said, you can connect the computers through wired medium also or through wireless medium also. So we say that the computers are interconnected only if they are capable of sharing or exchanging information. So if you just connect two computers and they are not able to exchange any information among them, then we cannot say that the computers are connected. So for them to be interconnected, they must be able to share and exchange information between them. So this is a typical example of a network. And also there is a misconception that in a network all the devices should be computers only, but it's not the case. The devices may be printers also, the devices may be some gaming pads also. So as long as the electronic devices are interconnected such that they are able to share information between them, we say that it forms a network. Is it clear? So next we come to the advantages of network. Now, what is the problem if computers are used in isolation, and what are the advantages if of connecting them to a network? See, if you have two computers and both the computers have certain information, and if they are interconnected, you will be able to share information in so we can say that share information means we can communicate between the two computers. So if communication happens between the two computers, both the computers can work together and exchange information. So let's see the first advantage of network. It is called resource sharing. So what is resource sharing? So let's say you have three computers at your home, and all the three computers require the job of printing. So there are two options with you. First option is you can buy three separate printers for each computer, or the other and the more efficient option is you can buy only a single printer and use that single printer for printing for all the three computers. Is it clear? So what is a resource? Resource means the different devices. For example, if we have three computers and you require the job of printing, so let's say you can buy a printer, and that printer can be connected to all the three computers. So instead of buying three printers, so what will be the cost of three printers? The cost of three printers will be, let's say each printer cost is rupees 5,000, so three printers will cost you rupees 15,000. So instead of 15,000, in just rupees 5,000 you can manage the entire work. So this is the first advantage. It is called resource sharing. Second advantage is reliability. So what do you mean by reliability? So in context of computer network, reliability means keeping a backup of the data at several systems, so that even if one system crashes, you can carry on your work with the other systems. Third is cost factor. As I have already discussed with you about the example on printer. So instead of buying 3 printers, if we can do our job with just a single printer, our cost will dramatically reduce. Next is communication medium. Of course, we can share information among the different devices connected in the network, so it leads to a better communication facilities. So whatever I've explained, it is there as a part of the notes, so you can just note it down. About resource sharing, means sharing the different resources so that the cost is effectively reduced. Next, I talked about reliability, where with the help of which you can back up your files into different systems, and as a result, even if one or more systems crash, at least one copy will be available in a different device. Next is the cost factors. The cost will be reduced if we share the devices. So as you can see that one point is connected to another. So now I think you are convinced about connecting the different computers and the advantages of networks. Now let's go to the disadvantages of a network. So what are the disadvantages of network? So when we connect computers in a network, the systems may become more sophisticated and complex. Obviously, when we interconnect 2 or more devices, it will require various hardware devices or networking devices, which we shall discuss in our coming sessions. So with the inclusion of various other devices, the systems will become sophisticated and also complex. So bad management of network may make the devices unusable. So you must be very careful while setting up a network. If you do not set up a network effectively, then it may result in hardware or software crash. So make sure you do the setup with professionals only. So next is dependency on central server may disrupt the entire network in case of central server failure. So what does this point mean? So let me explain you. So let's say we have 3 computers and we have a thing called server. So if all these 3 computers are dependent on the single server, now what will happen if the server crashes? If the server crashes, then the entire system will become unusable. So if your network will depend on a central server, then some problem with the central server will make the whole network unusable. Next is file security may be a threat. So if the computers are used in isolation, there is no risk of any file security, but if you connect them to a network and if you are not able to manage it effectively, some unauthorized person may use your important files. Now let's go to the evolution of networking. How did networking come into existence? Networking came into existence not very long ago, but it came into existence in 1969. So in 1969, the first network came into existence. So what is the first network that came into existence? It is known as ARPANET, or Advanced Research Project Agency Network. It was developed in United States. Next is NSF-NET, or called the National Science Foundation Network. So it was developed in mid 80s. So it will be more clear when we go to the evolution chart. So as I have already said, in 1969, the first network, which is known as ARPANET, it came into existence. What was the main work of ARPANET? The main work of ARPANET was to connect computers at US defense and different universities. So after that, moving forward, in 1980, NSF-NET came into existence. What is NSF-NET? It was a high capacity network and it was strictly used for academic and engineering research. So till 1980, as you can see from the networking chart, networks was not available to the common man or for different purpose. But at about 1990, various other networks like ARPANET and NSFNet and various other networks came into existence, and all the different networks were connected. And when different networks are connected, it became a network of networks, which we say today as internet. So what is internet? Internet is the network of networks. Let's try to understand this, explain with a diagram. So let's say this is your ARPANET, and let's say there might be more than 3 computers. This is just an example. So let's say the other network is,
मुझे इंटरनेट से कनेक्ट करने में समस्या आ रही है। अपने अलेक्सा ऐप की सहायता सेक्शन पर एक नजर डालें।
Okay, let's switch off the Alexa. Okay, so sorry about that. So at about 1980, NSFNet came, and in 1969 ARPANET came into existence. But by 1990, various other small networks came into existence. So let's assume this is one network, let's say N1, let's say N2, and let's say this is another network, let's say N3. Now by 1990, what was done? All these networks were connected with each other. So now what has it become? All these are small networks, and now we have made a bigger network out of these small networks, and this bigger network is known as the internet. Internet means network of networks. We have certain small networks, and we have connected those small networks to form the internet which we have today. So I hope this is clear. So now before moving further, we need to know certain terms with respect to network. So the first term is host or node. So what is a host? So whatever devices are connected in a network, those devices are referred to as a host or a node. So from now on, whenever I'll refer to the word host or node, you should understand that I am referring to a networking device. Next is server. What is a server? It is a node that facilitates networking task by serving the clients. So server is such a node, means such a networking devices which serves other nodes, means other computers. For example, in a class, let's say I am the teacher, so I will be the server because I am serving the clients. Who are the clients? In case of a classroom, the students, means you all will be the clients of the class. So remember, a server serves and the clients receives the services from the server. Now in a classroom, when you all have certain doubts, what do? You ask me, means you ask the server. So the job of a client is to request the services of the server, and the job of a server is to serve the client. Now in this diagram, this is the server and these are the clients of the server. Now we'll go to different types of networks. So what are the types of networks? I know you have already got the different types of networks in your lower classes, but still I'm repeating. There are basically 3 types of networks. First is the local area network or LAN, second is metropolitan area network, and third is wide area network. So the basic difference between these 3 types of networks lies in the geography or the range till which it will provide its services. So let's see them one by one. First is LAN or local area network. So a LAN is comprised of computers within close proximity, such as in an office or building. So the range of LAN is very less. So if you want to connect, suppose there is a building with 3 floors. So if you want to connect all the computers of different floors, then you will take the help of LAN. Got it? So this is the network diagram for LAN. So different computers which are in close proximity to each other are connected with the help of LAN. Next is MAN. So a MAN is a network that interconnects users with computer networks in a geographic area or a region larger than that covered by even a large local area network, but smaller than the area covered by a wide area network. So MAN, it stands for Metropolitan Area Network. So the range of coverage of MAN is greater as compared to LAN, and typically MAN covers a city. So if you want to connect the computers, not any electronic devices of the city, then you can take the help of the network known as MAN. A very popular example of a MAN network is the cable TV network. So this is the network diagram of MAN. So various small LANs, these LANs are connected with the help of a MAN. Next is WAN. WAN is the wide area network. Now when the computers are located geographically apart, like one computer is, let's say, in Guwahati, another computer is in Mumbai. Now by which network these computers will be connected? It will be connected by WAN or wide area network. So the internet is an example of wide area network. So for example, we can say it to be internet. So next we have another types of networks, and it is done with the help of component roles. Component roles means, what are the main devices of a network? The main devices of a network are the nodes or the devices which take part in the network communication. So based on the component roles, there are two types of networks. First is the peer-to-peer networks, and second is the client-server network. Let's try to understand these one by one. So peer-to-peer network. Now what do you mean by the word peer? Peer means friends. Now in case of friends, suppose there are a group of 3 friends. So will there be any discrimination among the friends? No, there won't be any discrimination between the friends ideally, and both the and all the 3 friends will have like common standards. So similarly, in case of a peer-to-peer network, we have the nodes, and none of the nodes serve as a server alone. What I mean by this, all the nodes can serve both as a client and as a server. That means no single node or no single computer is reserved for the work of only a server or only a client. All the computers can serve as a client also and as a server also. So since there is no dedicated node for serving as a client and no dedicated node for serving as a server, we say these to be non-dedicated servers. Let's go to the next type of network based on component roles. It is the client-server networks. So in case of a client-server network, what happens? We have a node which does only the work of a server. Let's say this is the server. And we have certain other nodes which serves only as clients. So here the central node, its work is to work only as a server, and the other nodes, its work is to serve only as a client. So here the tasks are distributed. So this type of networks are also known as your master slave network. So I hope you have understood the topics. So I'll come up with some more topics in the part 2 of this series. Thank you very much.